Welcome back to the podcast. It's another great week. Thank you again for tuning in, and as always, share the show with a friend. Gotta do a little quick check-in. How's your week, Dad?
My week was pretty good. Pretty good.
Nothing to elaborate on?
No, you know what? That I started trying to do my work a little bit earlier this week.
Oh yeah, you did a great job with your preparation this week.
Trying.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
With your preparation this week.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Or a better job. I leave room for improvement. I can't tell you it was perfect.
Always room for improvement.
Yeah, I think I'm still finding time in each day to read a little bit. I missed a couple of days this week, but overall, still trending in the right direction, so I'm happy with that. And also, I'm getting better with my sleeping habits. I'm going to bed at a decent time, getting up at a good time, so I'm happy about that. Because when you sleep better, you feel better.
You know what? That's something I need to try. I need to probably really try to work on that.
Why would you be doing?
You know, it's so early. I get up so early to go to work. And I may not come back and take a nap. I may not go. Then, later on, I may just doze off or get a power nap, and then I'm up for a while. And I need to get a better sleeping habit. That's something that I need to work on.
Yes. So get it done. All right. So, what's going on in the news this week?
Well, one thing I stayed in tune with this week was looking into the coronavirus, because so many people is reacting to this and it's just so much. And I guess, they say nobody in Philadelphia have been tested positive. There had been a couple people in Jersey and area that have been tested for it, but none of them confirmed and have it. None of them showed up positive to it. So that's something good around here, But overall, they say, and about 16 deaths in the United States.
Yeah, it's still a bit of a scary situation. So people, make sure you're washing your hands, hot water and soap.
Hot.
It's funny, the other day, and you say that because they is saying that's the best thing you could do. I was just watching the news this morning, and it was saying the best thing for this, and they held up a bar of soap and was saying how to wash your hands. I remember you texting me that because me traveling on the bus, me working in a public place, you come in touch with people like that. And it's funny one time because the people had masks on. You seeing people wearing masks on, and the people saying and people wearing like that and not covering their hands or anything like that. He said touching your face is how it get in there. It attacks your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
So
this might be the first time you actually was paying attention in the news in a given week.
You're right about that. I mean, I was just saying because, they just saying so much. But you know what? You got people dying from the flu. You got people dying from this. But you know what? Trump just signed a bill. So, people working on it to find out what they can do. So,
yeah.
It shouldn't be a scary situation as it is because, the man on the news was saying today, it's different. People die from the flu today.
Yeah, I just think, it's something because of how much it's spreading. That always creates a little bit of panic. I know usually I don't, for years I didn't believe in the flu shot. I was like, man, all right, I'm going to get it, but I don't know if it really helps.
Did you get it?
Yeah, because I can get it at work. So I'm like, why not? I'll go down there and get this needle, even though I hate needles. But yeah, I think with the coronavirus, it's just something new, unfamiliar. But I'm glad they're hyping it up on the news because I don't want this thing, people taking it lightly and spreading. Don't come into work. Don't be out if you sick, coughing on everything. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. Just you should always wash your damn hands. I can't tell you how many times I'm in the bathroom somewhere and guys just walk out. Or, I'm at the joint washing my hands, right? And all I hear in the sink next to me is,
Bruh.
what the water didn't even hit the drain yet before you turned it off. Your hand's not clean. Then you can go touch the freaking doorknob. That's why you gotta use a napkin when you exit.
Yeah.
People don't be washing their hands. They will come out not the urinal, the other place, and not wash their hands and leave. People out there are disgusting.
No, I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's something I don't even really want to say this here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this because I gotta ask you a question, and I had to ask a question. I even asked Dub this question: how can you go in the bathroom and see number 2 in the toilet and no paper? How did the person leave out of there? And that's a question I had to ask some people because I never seen something like that. What did he do?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, what did he do? Take it and throw it in a trash can?
I don't know. I think we gotta move.
Yeah, we
gotta move on.
Yeah, we definitely move on. But that's a question I had to ask some people.
Oh man,
because I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Questions that need answers.
Well,
oh my god, my mind is just. Woo. Bottom line, people, make sure y'all being clean. If you coughing, sneezing, leave that at home. Like, quarantine. Nobody want that. Like, I hate when I'm on people sneezing on everything, coughing, like, because then it's all in the air. Yeah. Right? People would just sneeze, and I'm just like, ugh, dude, contaminating the airspace. But, yeah, that's that. And more positive note. So, Philly hoops. That's where it's at, right?
Where's that?
Well, for some people it is. Oh man, I'm touching my eye. I'm getting paranoid. Gotta stop. But what I do when I came in though?
You wash your hands.
Yeah, so I'll be alright. But yeah, so a great story that was in the news this week comes from one of my idols. I couldn't find the right word for a minute. But comes from the great Allen Iverson. So, I mentioned Philly hoops, right?
Right.
I was talking about high school basketball, right?
Right.
I was talking about boys' high school basketball, right?
Right.
No. Talking about girls' high school basketball, Dad. So, all right, so Diamond Johnson, right? She is senior point guard at Newman Goretti, right? Girl can flat out ball. I actually shared a video on the NoStoppingKev Instagram page, or the NoStoppingKev Show Instagram page, of highlights between Newman Goretti and West Catholic. Some girls in the city, they can flat out hoop. Like, flat out hoop. Like, I might got to try to get them on my PSL team if they ain't doing anything this summer. I got to recruit, baby. I got to get some girls to get some buckets. But, so yeah, a lot of people in the city felt like Diamond Johnson got snubbed from the McDonald's All-American game. Like, she was ranked nationally. Like, there's no reason why she should have gotten overlooked. And then some people think, maybe it's because she elected to go to Rutgers instead of a bigger, more renowned school for women's basketball. Whatever the case may be, she should have been there. Should have been at that game on one of those rosters out there getting buckets. Right? But she's not. She still held her head up. She's going to kind of take it in stride, still go do her thing. But, one thing I like about the city and one thing about the power of basketball is that it's able to bring people together. So, a lot of people were in different, Philly basketball Facebook groups really saying how this shouldn't have happened, really coming to kind of her defense, right? Which was great. And then this one dude, I actually coached against him a few times, Stan Jones, he had I saw this yesterday on the internet, he presented to Diamond at, I guess, before one of her games.
Right.
A jersey with her number 3 on it, and it said, like, Philadelphia's All-American or something like that.
Oh, that was really nice.
And I was like, that's a great gesture, because even if they're not going to recognize you, it was a way of saying, we going to recognize you in the city, because all you've done and accomplished is, very remarkable. And, she deserved to be there. So, what Allen Iverson did?
What AI did?
So somehow they was at their practice, right? She get a FaceTime call.
Oh, right.
Allen Iverson pop up on a FaceTime. Long story short, he invites her to participate in his Allen Iverson All-American Classic, right? He got his own thing, and he looking out for her. So I thought that was, a great just thing for him to do because she deserves that recognition. And so she's also the 24th member of the Classic. It's a showcase, 24K showcase that's taking place on April 22nd in conjunction with AI's All-American Classic at the Sixers Fieldhouse in Wilmington. I actually rode by that a few times. Pretty nice.
That's in Wilmington. I was
low-key want to go. But, her being the 24th member also, makes you think of Kobe and Gigi. And, everybody thinks about, we can't help but think about what Gigi would have been in basketball, like at her peak. So it's almost like Diamond is able to represent, women's basketball on the stage. Because, you look at some of the girls in the WNBA that, like, Kobe has said, like, oh, this woman right here could play in the NBA today. And it's kind of like Diamond's going to get out there and her coaches is like, she's going to hold her own out there. And she's already come out and said, playing against guys, she's going to have to use her skill. Like, this isn't new to her. She said, I grew up playing against boys at the playground. They're bigger, stronger, faster, so I can't use my speed as she would against, her fellow women competitors. So she's already like, I know this isn't new to me. I'm going to get out there and get buckets. So I'm looking forward. I hope I can, if I can't be there in person, I would love to watch that game on TV or, catch it on YouTube afterwards. But, shout out to her. This is a girl that scored 2,741 career points for Newman Goretti. So she get buckets. You know how many career points I probably had in high school?
How many?
Probably like 120. Yeah, I wanted to go back and count it up one day. But yeah, I ain't had time to do all that.
Yeah, I don't think I was even near that.
Do you think you were 1,000? You were in 1,000?
I was over 1,000. I was over 1,000. College, I had over 2,000. Sort of a season too.
Oh man. So y'all to be the bucket getters, and I'm gonna just stay over here in my lane. Sometimes in life you gotta stay in your lane. Well, I'm stay in my lane.
That wasn't your job to really put the points on the board.
Yeah, it wasn't. I did my job though, and I can hang my hat on there. You were telling me about another situation with a shooting victim.
I was just happy. Yeah, it was like 11-year-old boy made it back home. He made it back to a rally that was before violence. But you talking
about gun violence?
Gun violence, yeah. For kids, because we've been losing a lot of young kids.
A lot of shootings.
A lot of young kids. So when I was reading past that story, and it said he was home, and it like that, he 11 years old. They said when he first was there, he couldn't eat, through his mouth. He couldn't walk. He couldn't walk. He couldn't do a lot of things. And it just was some good news. Like you always want to see something positive come out of something. So that was the good thing about that.
Where did the shooting happen?
In Frankfurt.
Right. And the rally was here. It was the
And
one
Phil-
at City Hall.
Yeah, the one at City
people
Hall.
had sons.
Yeah,
had signs.
Yeah.
And stuff that said like, "Who sold this gun that killed my son?"
Yeah.
I caught that on the news.
Yeah, but it was just that he couldn't do that. Now they said he couldn't even talk. He couldn't eat. But now they say they can't shut him up. He don't want to stop running around. So that was something good because you always hear all about the negative, but that was something really positive that was happening.
Yeah, I'm glad that kid's recovering. And you said he was 11.
11 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, he spent like three months in the rehab. He spent 3 months in the rehab.
That's like a fourth or fifth grader.
Yeah. But the thing was, like I'm saying, it was just so good.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Bless him. Happy that he is able to make a recovery like that.
Yeah.
Especially at that age. You just got to kind of pray for him going forward because I'm sure there's still some trauma there. But this kid sounds like he's in good spirits.
But he definitely in good spirit, because they had like talking to the nurse and all like that. Because you're talking about a person that couldn't talk. Like they said like he would nod in his head. The thing. Now they saying they can't shut him up. So you know how it is. You know, walking is physical therapy. Like he couldn't walk, now he walking. You know.
Oh man, yeah, that's
He really getting around. It ain't like he being pushed around or anything like that. He getting around.
that's really a great thing right there.
Yeah.
You so what you want to talk to me about today, Dad, or talk to us about?
Well,
Me and the people at home on the go. What you got for us?
You know-
Big dog, go roof roof. Sorry, I'm just messing with you.
No, it's okay that you mess with me, but you know it's something like you know what I always said like you know I was grown, but you know what I'm starting to grow up a little bit better now, you know. And one of the things that like I really helps me and like I really like to talk about is accountability, and you know like thank you for holding me accountable for a lot of things and staying on me, you know, because they do say that leads you to be successful, you know, and accountability. And just taking, like, one of my stories that I really take to this, and when I was saying that I'm growing up, is because when I first got incarcerated, I wanted to blame people for me being there, and I used to say that I wasn't caught doing anything. But the thing was, once I took my accountability and my responsibility for what I did, it got easy for me, and I learned something. You know, it just did that. So you know, that's the actions. You know, the actions of our consequences. You know, of hope and being accountable for things.
The consequences of our actions.
Of our actions. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I didn't say it right.
You said the actions of our consequences. But I got you. I just want to clear that up.
Well, you know, sometimes I move a little bit too fast and I talk
Oh yeah,
a little bit too fast.
I do the same thing.
You know,
it's come with experience. You know, slow down a little bit.
yeah, because this is something new to me, especially when you put me out front.
No, it's like when I'm meeting with clients. Like sometimes I hop right in and I low key skip over like introductions. I'm like, oh, I got back up. My bad. Sorry, I was just so excited to be here. You know, but yeah.
And you know, it's just good to put yourself around people that hold you accountable. You know, because you know that's something big for people. Don't steer you wrong. Like you know, one thing I used to like in recovery sometimes. You know, people used to say, "I'm gonna hurt your feelings to save your life." You know, and sometimes when people try to correct you or hold you accountable, it ain't always comfortable.
Yeah, it's not.
You know.
Devin does it a lot. I think she makes it a game. I think.
But no, I mean, it's just really great to have that. I mean, even with you sometimes, like it there, you know, like Brianna would do it. You know, it's just so, and then having friends, you know, that was one of the biggest things that got me through recovery, made me still be able to be clean since 2007, man. You know, was the people and some of the people that's still in my life today. I need that people to hold you accountable and tell you when you slip and when you doing wrong. And just some of the values to just be willingness to just do this and just to stay like that way. You know.
What you mean?
Huh? You know, just willing to get better. You know, like some of the things, like, you know, you definitely got to be honest with yourself. You know, and carry some integrity and all. It just all goes along and hand in hand. And like I said, for me, to still kind of grow with this.
Yeah, and I think one thing you got to remember is that, you know, part of the equation is being willing to get better. Then the other side of it is understanding that it might take time and it might not be easy.
Well, you know, like sometimes what I learned sometimes, it cannot be easy, but if you start putting yourself around the right people and the right things, so then you start walking that way and you start seeing it in people you teaching, you know. And so I think it, like I say, it can get easier. But first of all, you gotta be one of my favorite things. Don't you remember that?
Teachable, coachable.
How?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How? You know, and that's where I always have to say with that, because that goes in everything. And see, like, you know, it's funny because I go back, how, like, let me just finish. How is honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And them some things that I think that I applied in my recovery and staying clean. That was the main thing that I did. And now like another thing that I think that you really got to add with that too is being consistent with that. I think that you got to be consistent because you can't. It ain't like you want to hold yourself accountable today and tomorrow you go right back and do it. This is a this is a day to day thing.
Yeah.
And then like I like to break it down to a moment to moment, or because it goes times during the course of a day how much you gotta do.
Yeah, it's like how I always say, strength and consistency, not numbers.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely want to think about the long term and really making what you do become a habit and really become a part of you. It's like what you said, kind of pinning yourself around the right things. If I want to read more, I try to surround myself with books. So there's a book on the nightstand. Usually have a book in the bag. I love when like Shaquan posts like a book on his story. I'm like, yo, Quan reading? All right, I gotta catch up. But boy, he beating me. Then you called me this week. You was like, yo, I'm checking in on you reading. You called this week. Last week you said you did. I don't think you did, but you called this week. So
Yes, I did.
you got credit this week.
Okay.
But thank you.
Well, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure. But like I'm saying, that's why if I didn't do it last week, I definitely was gonna make sure I did it this week. I just like I said, it's just some things that I really like to touch on, like accountability and certain things like that. And like I said, it's a full-time thing. It's like this is something that I gotta work on every day. And the last thing that like I just say, like I guess you could say people, places, and things too, because like you said, you got the reading material. You put yourself around that and with that more. So you know what? It's just like I said, the people that I hang with, the places that I go now.
Oh, all right, yeah. I like how you explained that because in talking about reading, and then you said people, places, and things. My mind went to like grammar, parts of speech type things. And so whenever I hear people, places, and things, the first word that pops in my mind is noun, because those are nouns. You learn nouns.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I was like, why you ain't just say nouns, Dad?
Yeah, well, maybe.
But you had to explain it. I got you though. The people you're around, the places you're at, and I guess the things that are present.
Right.
So I got you.
Right.
Got you. That was good, man.
Oh, thank you. That's old time stuff, man.
I almost felt like that could have been a rap lyric or something. The people, places, and things, that's what I be doing when I'm on the court. I'm wearing my championship rings.
You're trying to rap now, huh?
Yeah, I try to freestyle a little bit.
You might make some money off of that.
Wow, so people can pay to laugh at me?
That still bring you money. Comedians get laughed at all the time.
Well, I still, somewhere inside of me, have a small, aspiring comedian left. I might have should have gone a stand-up route.
Sometimes that ain't as easy as it is.
What?
But I said sometimes that stand-up could be hard. Like sometimes sometimes
tough crowd.
Because sometimes some of them, if you ever hear them talk about how they were booed out of the place before,
Yeah.
But I guess that's like anything else. You got to come back.
Yeah.
You got to come back.
Bounce back. It's like when I had those games where I scored 4 points. I bounced back, scored 10. That's not that funny. See, I thought that was funny because I was in a big time scorer. So all right.
So that's average. 40. Like, what do you think you averaged in high school?
Senior year, I averaged like 10.8. But I probably averaged. I wish we had a statistician to keep track of assists in all my leagues. Like even my pen league right now, like I might average 7 points a game. But I know I gotta be somewhere up around like 10 assists. Because I'll just start dropping dimes.
You just started dropping down.
Yeah, and I also wish they kept track of steals.
Well, that's the game. Like your job was to play an all-around game. I tried to play an all-around game. Now.
And you failed.
I'm not gonna say I failed. How you gonna say I failed?
Because when I talk to people about your game, right, all they ever do is mention you scoring. Nothing else. All they ever mention, your pop, that was a problem back in the day, boy. He was shaking, he had the eyes, so you couldn't tell which way he was looking. So then he'd shake you and then he'd right to the hole. And I'm just like, nobody's ever like, yeah, your pop made me a better player because he would get me easier shots. You never hear those stories. You never hear, yeah, my pop used to lock him down on defense, KB. I don't ever hear that. All I hear is your pop get straight to a bucket.
But high school I averaged 28 and 10 assists my senior year.
Who wrote in that 10 for you?
Huh?
Who wrote in that 10 for you?
You know what? That's why I tell you, when people think you're going to shoot, it's always easier to drop it down.
Oh, yeah.
See, sometimes we just look at one thing. Now, in the Sunny Hill League, the junior year and my senior year, I got the Wall Hazard Playmaking Award. So that was saying that I just wasn't a scorer.
Touche.
Huh?
I like that. You got some evidence.
Yes.
Got some evidence.
Yes.
You-
Back-to-back years, I got Wall Hazard, and I think they having a fourth annual Hall of Fame, Philadelphia Hall of Fame thing with Wall Hazard and them, Ollie Johnson going into it. I have to tell you more about it. Have you seen about it?
No, I did see people posting.
Right.
I saw your generation posting selfies talking about, "Hi, my name is insert name here, and I support the Philadelphia Basketball Hall of." Like, what was all that? Y'all do some crazy stuff on social media.
I don't mess with social media that much.
Yeah,
like
Rock be on there too, man.
Yeah, but I don't mess with that too much. But I am probably gonna go to the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah, cause you be having some blunders on social media.
That's why I stay off it. I mean, technology, I still got to catch up to that.
All right, I'm good.
Thank you.
I'm good. Yeah, so you been watching any basketball lately?
I haven't really watched any. I'm just wondering about what you think the Sixers going to do.
All right, Embiid is supposed to be back on Wednesday. We got to get Ben back. If we get healthy, we're not a great road team. So if we're in 5, 6, 7, or 8 in the East, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to win. But I think when Embiid turns it on, we can get wins. Like, after we were struggling and everybody was criticizing Embiid, saying him and Ben couldn't play together. Those couple games leading into the All-Star break when Ben was out, or after the All-Star break, we saw a different Embiid, and we're like, that's the Embiid we need, right? That's the Embiid that we need to have strength and consistency, not numbers, one night on, one night off. So I think if we can get a consistent Joel Embiid, if we can get Ben, because Ben's been playing at a high level. Like, I was watching, probably the games, like a month worth of games leading up to the All-Star break. I actually saw him, and I'm like, yo, this might have been the fastest I've ever seen Ben move. So I'm like, he's going out there, he's playing hard every night. So he's tough, and he gives you, a lot of positives on both ends of the floor. So if we can get them two playing at a high level, playing at their max, the others going to follow. Because they're going to make the game easier for Tobias. They'll make the game easier for Richardson. I like to move Pitt and Horford off the bench. That way he can just kind of go to his spots and get the work.
Right, yeah.
He doesn't really have to play off of other people. I think that's a good move for him. And then, Korkmaz has stepped up, a guy that I've been very critical of.
Oh, really?
He's been playing well. Yeah, just because he used to get abused on defense. And all he used to do was shoot threes. He still shoots a lot of threes, but when the opportunity's there, he'll put the ball on the floor and drive to the hoop. So I like that. Big on Matisse Thybulle. And then, Glenn Robinson the third. He's playing. He gives you a little bit of everything. So I like him. I think we can make a run. But it's going to come down to Joel playing like the greatest player in the world every night. And then Ben just got to be a monster.
Well,
we're designed to beat Milwaukee.
You know what? We were designed to be not in sixth place. We supposed to be, really should have been 1 or 2.
Yep.
In the East. And, it's something for, how do you fall off like that, really?
I don't know.
Leadership.
Leadership.
But, see, the thing is, what I remember, Joel B wasn't consistent last year in the playoffs. Because if he would have probably showed up a couple of them games, we might. And I know this is saying might have because we never know what would happen. You talking about with Golden State getting hurt like they was. If we had beat them, we was that close to the championship. We might have had a championship.
Kawhi doesn't hit that shot. That's our year.
That's right. But you also said them games where he played. What Joel B had 6 points or something like that, or what'd you say? If he had given a little bit more or was a little bit more consistent, that it wouldn't have came up to that last jump shot. We can always say that last.
Yeah, you can't blame me. It's never one shot.
Yeah,
it's never the reason you lose a game. Yeah. And then I went to a Sixers game a couple weeks ago, and I was watching Joel work. Like he was working, he was sprinting the floor, trying to get the post position early. I'm like, yo, as a guard, right? If I know my big is working to get position, as soon as he gets down the floor, if he's running rim to rim, then I got to push the ball and throw it into him. It was like 3 possessions in the first quarter where they kind of walked the ball up the floor instead of advancing it either with the pass or, pushing it to try to get him a touch early. Because what happens is, he only gets 3 seconds, so now he got to get out, try to get back in, where he was literally right under the hoop with the man on his back with the size advantage. I'm like, that should be something to key on. Because eventually he's going to stop. People are like, oh, why Joel not posting up? It's like he down there, he's not getting the ball. So what do you want him to do?
People do talk about that, man.
Like, what you want him to do?
But one thing I liked about him when I watch him play? Man, he hustles on defense. Oh, yeah. He tries to play defense. He tries to get places, man. I really had to give that to him.
And people always like, why he always on the ground? I'm like, because he's stretching out for the ball. Yeah, I'm like, you got a guy that's 7'2", bending down to try to dive on the floor for a ball. That's why he's on the ground. It's not just because somebody's running into him and he's bouncing. That's not why he falls.
No, he be trying to get places and trying to help people out on defense. That's one thing that I've always seen in him that I really liked of him.
He's a good rim protector.
Yeah. But I just hope that we get it together. It's just like being in 6th place right now.
Oh, that's bothering
you. Yeah. Because you know what? The predictions that they had and like this,
It's been a disappointing season.
Yeah, definitely disappointing. But we're Philadelphia, so we know what we do here.
Yeah. We're going to see. Joel Embiid might shock the world.
I hope he do.
Shock the world and go to Disney World with this championship.
I mean, you know what? The playoffs is a new season. So now, we could live up to the expectations with this new season.
Yeah, we just gotta get back healthy, man. If we can get healthy in time for the playoffs, maybe make a push for this 4th seed. Who knows? Because I think we can beat Indiana. I think we can take care of Brooklyn. We're capable of beating Miami. We can beat anybody in the East.
We could beat anybody in the league. The movie used to be every given Sunday, but it's any given day.
Like they played the Lakers and Clippers tough. With the other guys. There's just the other guys going out and playing. So, imagine if we had our stars. We played, but in both of those games, we didn't have, I think Richardson got hurt in the one, but we didn't really have him for either game. And then you really had Tobias Harris, who isn't really a take over the game guy. You got to get his in the flow,
right?
Which drives me nuts sometimes. But I'm like, when we get our main guys back, but might be time to ball.
Now, when you say that, but I also look at it this way too. You said they played the Clippers and the Lakers tough, but do you think the Lakers and the Clippers took them a bit lighter because they didn't have some players?
No, the Clippers were shooting a crazy percentage. The score at halftime was 72-70. Shake Milton went off of 49 or 39 that game. I don't think they took them lightly.
But sometimes, I'm not saying like that, but they probably knew that anytime they could turn it on and take these.
Yeah,
guys.
I know. I think you saw that in the Lakers game a little bit, but the fact that they were able to hang in there and keep it close says a lot.
Well, it do say something. It do say something. But like I said, now when the players come back, when they come back. can the chemistry mix in good? That's what we gotta
Yeah,
see.
I guess that's
Because you got some players that stepped up. Now, can they step up with them? Like you was just saying about me, not making some other players better, but I always gave up the rock.
I don't know about always.
I always gave up the rock. I just was able to score.
No.
No what?
No, you didn't always give it up.
Why didn't I?
You passed if you had to.
No, you're wrong there. You know how nice it is? Like, you know what? Sometimes when you would give a nice assist and a person dunked the ball off your assist.
Nah, I never
Oh, man.
played with some big time dunkers like that.
Oh, man. You know what? When you could trick somebody and pass the ball to somebody in the crowd. See, because when you shake them to somebody and then you give off a pass and the crowd go, ooh, then they go, ah, when the other man. So, you know, that's a feeling I like. I'll take that over points.
Yeah. I do have one guy in my pen league that I can throw lobs to, and it's pretty fun.
Right.
Got a couple guys, and it always feels good though, because it's like an exclamation point. They can do more than I could if I were to, shoot the ball. So that's always a great one.
Well, you know what? Even sometimes when they don't dunk the ball, how they just lay it up. You know, some people just got pretty finger rolls or something like that, man. And it just like to do something like that was more exciting.
Yeah.
I
always like throwing no look passes.
Right.
Well, my favorite used to be, I used to love being on a fast break with a guy trying to chase me down, and I would jump up like I was going to lay the ball up, but I would either like just jump and throw the pass, kind of like wrap it around him as he's jumping up to block it, or I'll just lay the ball out on the floor. Like, it used to be the easiest thing in the world, where I just jump and knowing that guy's going to jump simply because I'm jumping. Meanwhile, I completely let go of the ball.
Like, you don't take the ball up with you.
No, I don't take it up with me. I just leave it out on the floor. And I don't know how I used to time it up, but at some point I would just kind of like just release it, and my big would be trailing, because I told him like, yo, always run with me.
That's right.
And once he knew I would leave it there for him, he would always do it, because it's like extra 4 to 6 points a game. Because I would get that opportunity quite a bit, and so it's like turning garbage into gold almost, because I'm just leaving it out there. Just drop some change on the street. Yeah, pick it up and cash in. But we got to get ready to get out of here. They know where they can find us, right, Dad? Do you know where they can find us?
Yeah, but some of them.
Oh, which ones you got?
No.
YouTube. Apple Podcasts.
Spotify, okay.
Google Play. Stitcher. And Podbean.
Next week, I'm going to get that right. I'm going to make that the thing, okay?
All right, man. You going to do that next week?
I'm going to do it next week.
All right. All right, I was about to mess with you, but I'm going to spare you one. All right, we got to get out of here, people. Thanks again for tuning in. And just like always, share it with a friend. Share it with a friend.
Now you're going to sing, huh?
Share it with a friend. Share it with the... Let's go. Your verse, Dad.
Nah.
Oh, shoot. My pen. All right, it's all good. But we got to get ready to get up out of here. See you again. Same time, same place next week.
And have a blessed week.